Hi, people. Welcome to Normski TV. Another match reaction. Arsenal 1, Brentford 1. Yes, people. Another draw ticked off. Yes, another draw ticked off, people. That's 12 draws now. 24 points dropped. And if you want to add the losses to that, we have had 3 losses. So add the losses to that. That's 33 points dropped. 33 points dropped this season. Yeah, we played 32 games. We've got 33 points. Jeez, man. Madness. Absolutely madness. Absolutely madness. So we've drawn nearly half of the games that we've played, nearly half, or dropped points if you add the losses as well. But look, it is what it is. I'm gonna get straight into it. Um, yeah, it's the game before the bigger fish to be fried on Wednesday. So this game, um, was it to secure second place? Who really cares? As long as we get top four, literally, it's another pointless game. But we needed to see changes. In the side today, and we did get the changes in terms of the starting 11. So I'm just going to quickly say what they were. You probably know them already, but I'm going to say it again. So Raya starts in goal. Would have liked to see Neto in there, maybe. Do you know what I mean? But listen, Raya plays in goal. You know, Arteta isn't going to drop this guy. Love no money. He starts Right. You know, he starts Partey at right back, not Righty at Partey. You get what I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about. Partey at right back, yeah. Saliba, Kivior, the two same centre pairing that played against Real Madrid. Tierney comes in for Skelly at left back. Zinchenko comes in as that kind of number 10. Jorginho as a 6, Rice as the 8. And then Ethan Manreri playing on the right. Trossard as the 9, false 9. And Martinelli playing on the left-hand side. And on the bench, Saka, Timber, Skelly, Raheem Sterling, Martin Odegaard, Mikel Moreno, Jack Henry Francis, I think he's a midfielder, Nathan Butler, Deja, who will never ever get a game under this manager as the striker, and Neto, if I haven't said him already. So that was the bench. So we had options about bringing off the bench, but you know, to be perfectly honest, guys, I didn't really want to see, you know, Rice playing because it's a massive game on Wednesday, and if he gets injured, then we're in trouble. Same with Partey as well. But we have this problem where we haven't got a right back. We haven't got a right back. So, you know, Timber was on the bench, so he had to move Partey in that position because Ben White wasn't even in the side. He had a knock in training apparently, and he's nursing a slight injury. So they're saying that he will be in the squad come Wednesday. So he's left him out of precaution, I would assume. But listen, going into the game, yeah, you know, it's one of those games where you know, you go out and just try and be professional, get the result, and you move on to Real Madrid on Wednesday. So watching the game, first half I think was probably better than the second half. I'm not gonna lie, first half was better than the second half. You know, Zinchenko, you know, playing in that number 10 role, I thought played okay. You know, control that midfield. What I liked about him was that he was able to, you know, play the ball out either side, whether it was out to the right or to the left. So Martinelli and Ethan Manreri, there was that kind of balance. You know, I mean, it wasn't just one. You know, if Odegaard is playing, you know, most of the play is going to come down the right hand side, but was finding that play was coming down the right hand side or it was coming down from the left. So the attack was coming from both sides, which was good. Trossard for me, probably the worst player between him, you know, and who else? Jorginho, I would say, was probably the worst players on that pitch. Trossard, again, just listen, the sooner the summer comes and Berta, who was in the stands watching from the side with his daughter, I believe, rubbing his chin and rubbing his temple, thinking, bro, I need to do some work here. You know, Trossard is not good. He has to be sold in the summer. You know, he was coming deep for the ball. Again, it reminds me of Odegaard in the sense when he picks up the ball, he's always, you know, back to goal, turns around, has loads of touches, plays it into congested areas, holds onto the ball too long, and makes the wrong decision. That's Trossard in a nutshell. When he's on his game, And back in the day when he used to come off the bench, and he was called our super sub. But I find that when he starts, he's not that great. Do you know what I mean? He's not that great. Was probably scored as one of the lowest ratings in the side, and just making mistakes, which you do that against Real Madrid. That's why Arteta didn't start him on Tuesday last week. You start this guy and he makes those kind of mistakes, we will get punished. We would absolutely get punished. Even when we had a half decent game, tried his best. You know what I mean? Was not that effective. Was trying to push forward and trying to make things happen, but wasn't one of his best games. Martinelli, again, uh, had an okay game, had a chance at goal, where he beat his player, but the goalkeeper was there to save it. Not only that, tackle I think by Nordgaard was done on him, which in my eyes was a red card. And I'm looking at it thinking, if this guy get injured, we have not got somebody to play on that left on Wednesday. And I was just saying to Arthur, you need to bring these guys off and bring on Sterling. Well, what's the point of you buying Sterling if you're not going to play the guy? Yeah, again, he doesn't get a look in. He's on the bench. Butler Deji on the bench. Why ain't getting no look in? Yeah, you got a midfielder. This game is a pointless game because look, whether we secure second place or not, we're gonna still get the top four. That is the long and short of it is. But you've got people that want to secure that second place, and then if we make it to a semi-final, of the Champions League, and we fall off, then they can turn and say, well, it wasn't a decent season because we did come second. Yeah, and we did make a semi-final in the Champions League with the injuries and with all the decisions against us. This is the narrative that these guys will be using. These will be the excuses that these guys will be using because they like to use these excuses to suit their narrative. As far as I'm concerned, yeah, that game, right, it should have been a red card, but it wasn't. So we play. We go on and we try and win the game. Listen, and lovely from the corner, Raya, who's him, Partey, and Saliba and Rice, I'll say, was our best players. Raya from the corner, sees a chance for a break. He rolls the ball out to Declan Rice, who just literally runs the full length of the pitch. Partey is bombing it down the right hand side with Martinelli on the left hand side. It was like 3 against 2. And I said, looking at this, we look like we're going to score. And he lays it off nicely to Partey, who he laces it, with his side foot into the top left hand bins of the net. And I thought, brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Now, I don't know with that kind of busting run, that lung busting run that Partey did, where it's affected because he had to come off. He looked like he come off. I don't know if he was holding his groin, but I'm hoping that's not the case. And he came on. Ewan Timber came on for him, and yet again we don't have no option. So Timber has to come on and play in the 69th minute on the right hand side where Partey was, and you're just worrying that there's nothing too significant is wrong. A couple of my mates were down at the game. They said that he looked okay. He walked off. It didn't look like any signs of anything that we should be worried about, but we'll have to just wait and see. Sometimes it doesn't kick in until later on, but I'm hoping that he's fine. So yeah, talk about the game. So what a fantastic goal, brilliant goal, fantastic. I think we just see this game out. Arteta make some more changes, but don't bring on the people that you're going to be playing on Wednesday. But no, what does he do? He brings on Mikel Moreno for Declan Rice. So Declan Rice shouldn't be playing, but this guy was running up and down, and you could see he was tired, guys. You could see he was absolutely knackered, and I was just hoping, please do not get any kind of muscle injury. He was looking fatigued and tired, so he came off. As I said, there was another guy. That he could have brought on, which was I think Jack Henry Francis was a midfielder. Why not bring him on? Do you know what I mean? But he brings on Mikel Moreno for him. He also takes off Ethan Manway, brings on Saka. Leave Ethan Manway on. Leave him on. Why are you bringing Saka on? Why? Leave them for the game. We've got bigger fish to fry. What's going on, man? And he brings on, leave Kieran Tierney on, gave him game time. You bring on Miles Lewis-Skelly. Why? We're winning 1-0. Yeah. We're comfortable. He brings on Martin Odegaard for Zinchenko. I thought Zinchenko was having a great game. But what's so amazing that soon as he made these changes, yeah, it's just like we lost the what's it, the control of the game. We lost the creativity of the game, and just where Zinchenko was, the one that was controlling that midfield. It's like we almost lost control of the midfield. Anyway, they break on us down the right hand side. I can't remember who their player that crossed the ball. Let me have a quick look who crossed the ball. I think it was he came on as a sub actually. I think it was, what was it? Was it Michael Keodo? I think it was either him. I think came on. I think it might have been him that came on, and he was the one that provided the cross, um, and it eluded all our defenders. And in in the middle of this chaos, Wisa again, who scores against us, in a striker's position, attacking position, goal poaching position, just lofts it over or kind of side kicks it over his head, and Raya couldn't have done nothing. I'm not going to blame Raya for that at all. It was just a massive chaos in that box, and the game, pans out to be 1-1. And that's what it was at the end of the day. It was 1-1. But then what made it worse? Because we made all our changes. Jorginho goes off injured. I think he went in for a header, came down, looked like on his ribs. I don't know if he's broken a rib or whatever, but he looked like he was in a lot of pain, had to come off. And then we had to end up playing the last like 4 or 5 minutes of injury time. Oh, well, what was the injury time of normal time plus injury time of 7 minutes? So we're probably looking at 10 to 12 minutes of playing with 10 men. That doesn't help because it means that we have to do more running. Apart from obviously them equalising in the very early stages of the game when it's first started, they did have a chance where Raya made a save. Wasn't nothing too drastic, but he was able to make that save. But to be honest, who should have really won that game? Should it have been us? If Saka had taken that chance, I think a long ball was played up by Raya, or I think it was one of our players, and their goalkeeper, um, Flecken, I think his name is, tried to control the ball, lost control of the ball. Saka, latches onto it, goes round the keeper, hits it first time. He takes another touch, and the defender's able to basically lock him off, and he ends up not being able to put that ball in the back of the net. Now that just comes with a bit of I think when you haven't been playing for a long time, that is going to be the case where what I mean, you're not on it. You're not on it. You need to be on it, and Saka wasn't on it. Basically, you know what I'm trying to say. So 1-1 probably is a fair reflection of the game. We see it out, as I said, we've now drawn 12 games, dropped 24 points, a total at the moment as it stands of 33 points. I think did I say 33 points, which is a lot of points. Liverpool currently, sitting 10 points clear of us. Tomorrow, if they win their game, they'll go 13 points clear. They only need 3 more games to win the league. Hopefully, it won't be us going up to Anfield to be giving them any kind of guard of honor. I hope it's someone else. I hope it's just not us. I don't want to be doing that like we had to do in the 2020 season when we had to do the guard of honor for them. So, look, the game is what it is. We've got a massive game on Wednesday, a massive game where we've got to go over to the Bernabeu and we have to secure that win. We have to go over there. As I said, we have to have the mentality to go over there and make sure that we lock off Real Madrid. Yeah, because they're going to be coming at us. We can't be defending like that. We can't be having Trossard making those silly decisions, holding on the ball too long, or playing passes where they're in dangerous positions, where these guys will break on us a lot quicker than Brentford and they're more skillful. All right. So, people, Wednesday is really what I'm focused on now because if we win that, we're through to the semi-finals, and the likelihood is that we will meet PSG in the semi-finals. That is going to be a tough game because the way I see PSG dealing with Aston Villa, bro, it's a total different PSG to when we played them. And they've got some good players there, and they play progressive, quick passing football. So we need to be able to hopefully get through the quarterfinals of the second leg. Hopefully, we won't be coming back disappointed or sitting on the edge. Listen, as it gets closer, we're all going to get nervous. We know that's what it's going to be. We're all going to get nervous. but Wednesday is really where it's at. Today, yes, it's another draw ticked off. And that's really the story of our season. We've regressed, we've stagnated, and we've never really challenged for the league. Let's face it, guys, we've never really challenged for the league. And I don't want to hear nothing about injuries. I don't want to hear nothing about refereeing decisions or none of that. Yeah, we had the chance to deal with this, dropping 24 points. That is not good enough. Draws, 12 draws, not good enough. But it is what it is. But people, listen, we move, we go on to the game on Wednesday. That's the big fish that we need to fry. Hopefully, we'll fry them and then we'll see what on with PSG. Take care. God bless. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next match reaction. Take care. God bless.